Granny's Kitchen with Chris and Blair. Today we are making French toast with Frosted Flakes. We have 3 cups of Frosted Flakes. We have a half a cup of sugar. We have a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. We have a teaspoon of cinnamon. We love cinnamon here. We have 4 eggs. We have a cup of milk. We use 0.5%. I guess it's whatever you got. Excuse me, 2%, but it's whatever you guys like. And then we have a tablespoon of vanilla from the islands. So we're going to start by putting our eggs in. And we're going to stir those up before we do anything else. We're going to mix them up real good.
Dang, you know I stir good.
Yes, sir, I do. And then we're going to pour in the cup of milk. And we're going to stir that up to make like a custard almost. Then we're going to put in the vanilla. The vanilla is pretty thick. I got it when we went over to the islands. I usually get my vanilla from the islands, and it's much better than here. I don't know why, but it is. Put the nutmeg in. It's just up to you if you want to use nutmeg. You really don't have to. Cinnamon is good enough, but I like the flavor of nutmeg. And we're going to put the cinnamon in. And we're going to put the sugar in. You only need a half a cup, but you can do that at your own pace. You can use a 1/4 of a cup or a half of a cup. But I like mine like a custard, so that's why I do it like this. And this is the same mixture almost that you would do for a bread pudding as well. When I do my bread pudding, I do it like this. And I just break up a whole bunch of bread, and I pour it over the bread and let the bread sop it up, if that's a word. But anyway, this is how I mix it. And then after I mix it up really well, blend it up really well, it's time to put the cornflakes. I do 3 cups only because I want to make sure that that one wasn't pretty. I want to make sure that that the bread gets cornflakes on it. So give me a moment to get the bread together, and I'll be right back. Ready? Today we're using honey wheat. Usually you can use white bread or honey bread or whatever kind of, or wheat bread or whatever you like for your bread. But before you put the bread in, you stir it up again, so just in case any of the stuff separated. And you just dip it on both sides really well. Drain it, drop it in the cornflakes, and get cornflakes on both sides.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this.
And then you put it over to the side till you're ready to go to the next one. Sop it again, put it in there, bring it over. You don't have to have cornflakes on all parts of it because you do want the bread to get done with the butter. And you just put it together like that. Get you another one. So you want it so you can go ahead and fill your pan up. We have a long pan so we can fit more pieces on there, so we can get more done at one time as opposed to doing it separately. But for most frying pans, you could probably just get 2 pieces in there. Again, we love cinnamon here, so you can break the cinnamon amount. Instead of using a whole teaspoon, you could do a half a teaspoon. It's just up to you how you like it. That's how we like it here at Miss Peach's Kitchen. That's how we do it. Just to let you know, before I get comments saying something about washing my hands, we washed our hands thoroughly before we started this video. I make my grandchildren wash their hands all the time before they even touch my refrigerator or anything in my kitchen. So you don't have to worry about that here. So we're getting a couple more slices of bread out here. This mixture is enough for up to 10 pieces of bread. It's only 4 of us here, so we won't need more than 10. We only need up to 10 because some of us can only eat 1 to 2 pieces of French toast. So I'm only gonna do 8 because that's what the fryer, my pan, it takes up to 8 pieces. So we're gonna try to get this together and do it like that. And so we will be done in just a couple seconds. The butter is already ready. I'm gonna go turn the stove back on in a couple seconds. I just wanted to give you an idea of how we do it here at Miss Peach's kitchen. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll show you when I get over to the stove, you know, where we're going with the rest of it. See you in a few. So I put the stove on high just to melt the butter. And I'm going to get the butter all over it. I used 1/3 of a stick so that this doesn't stick. I like my French toast to taste buttery as well. So we're going to do this, and then I'll turn the butter down and come right back. Give us a moment. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Okay, we're back over at the stove. And we are turning the heat on 7 because we want it to get hot faster. We got the middle eye, so it can get the whole thing pretty much, hopefully. Usually I do the side eye so that it can get everything, but I want the oil, the butter, to be all over everything. Use real butter so it'll have a butter flavor and not the imitation butter. But hey, it's your stuff. Do it your way. I used 1/3 of a stick to grease the whole pan and to make sure that everything was, you know, gonna be right. So once this heats pretty good, once I get the heat up pretty good, and I can see because it'll sizzle a little bit. Once you get the heat where you want it to be, then you go ahead and you put your stuff on. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start putting the stuff on. We got the French toast. We're starting it in the middle because the fire is usually hotter in the middle. And we can move some things around if that doesn't work. It was enough to make another one, but I didn't want more than what I got. That was enough. So I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick, and you can sit and watch this on. I'm gonna flip it over and show you. Flip it over and show you when I'm ready to turn it. So you can sit and watch, or you can go to the end, but let me give you that recipe again. There is 3 cups of Frosted Flakes. There is 1 cup of sugar. Oh, excuse me. There's 3 cups of Frosted Flakes, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, 4 eggs, 1/2 tablespoon of nutmeg, a tablespoon of cinnamon. You do the eggs and the milk first, then you pour in the sugar, then you put in your vanilla, which I didn't say, but it's a tablespoon of vanilla. You mix that together really well. You mix the eggs first, then the milk, then the sugar and the ingredients, and then you mix it all up very well. In between your bread going in the mixture, you might want to keep mixing so that you won't have too much of one thing in one area and not enough of another. The reason for us doing this show is because my grandchildren wanted to have some of my recipes. I usually don't measure. However, I've been trying to get my measuring down. We like a lot of cinnamon here, so if you don't like cinnamon that much, you can always take the cinnamon out. My boys wanted to have videos of me cooking so that they can have it when they get older and be able to cook their foods the way I cook their food, and they can tweak it however they want to, however they wanted to be able to have some of their favorites when I'm no longer here with them. That was the purpose of us doing these videos, so they can always go back and Google or whatever, however you guys do it, and see what they, want. So I'll be right back in just a moment. You can use white bread, you can use wheat bread. We used honey wheat today, and we used Frosted Flakes. Back, this is what it should look like when you flip it over. We waited about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It's up to you however dark you want it. We like ours like that. So we're going to flip it over up. That's one of Chris's favorites, a little darker than normal.
And that one's mine.
I'll check anyway.
No,
If it's dark,
no, Blair, that's mine.
So I'm going to have to break these. The middle part is a little darker. So I want to check the ones on the ends. Those usually don't cook as fast as these other. So in between, what I usually do is put a little bit of butter so that the butter will cook on both sides. I'm going to pull these down and push those in. I should have did that to begin with. But my middle section, I guess because it's more heat in the middle than the rest, it cooks a little faster. Sorry about that.
Granny, are we going to tell Uncle about the French toast?
Yeah, unless you're going to eat all the French toast from them.
I will, but I will. It depends. If I want, yeah, I'm going to eat all of it.
So what I'm doing is just flipping the other parts so they can get brown too on both sides. But what I usually do in between so that both sides will have butter, I usually go in between the bread and move butter around so I can have some butter. It really doesn't take much to do it, but I do it to make sure butter is on all sides.
And guys, I'm really a butter fan.
Oh my God, is he a butter fan? He embarrassed us so bad on the cruise. He would take all the butter from the ladies that was on the cruise with us to the point where they had to hide extra butter that the waiter gave us for Christmas. So anyway, this boy is a butter fanatic. I got to get him out of there before he has high cholesterol.
What is that?
High cholesterol is when your arteries are clogging up. So,
I know it's good.
So I'm flipping over the last one, and when I flip them over the next time, you see how fluffy they are? You can't even tell that the flakes are in there
I tasted
on
them.
some of them.
Brother, now I remember.
The Frosted Flakes usually cook in. It's so much milk and custard and stuff. It usually cooks in. I could have left that in there for a little bit. And I poured out all of my custard now. I'm so mad at myself. I could have had extra on there. But we're going to bring the tray where we're going to serve and bring that on over there so that we can start putting the food on the tray. Smells good.
And guys, this really tastes like pancakes, but
It's French toast. But it's just better.
and at the end of the videos, we're gonna do 2 shout outs.
Granny, this is like two breakfast meals. Cause cinnamon toast, because what you call that cereal put in it?
Frosted Flakes.
Because Frosted Flakes and French toast.
Got me.
On it. But it's a picture.
Okay, so we're done with this plate. So I usually wash as I cook, so they don't add up on me. But you see what's being done with the food. It's sitting there. It's ready. It's getting ready. We're gonna put it on the platter so we can just go ahead and eat. Grab our food from the platter. That one needed a couple more seconds. Let me see what this one looks like. Oh, and it flipped all the way over. Thank goodness this pan was here because it would have had the counter. Would have had the stove, not the counter. So, we're almost done here.
And we spent 4 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to take a little break while I finish the rest of these, and then we're going to go on, and I'll be back with you in a minute when we prep it on the plate, on our regular plates. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're back. We have fruit toppings for our French toast when we get done, so we'll be right back. Okay, Chris and Blair, y'all got to tell Granny how you like it.
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Well, here's mine. But I like everything on mine. So. That is the done presentation. We got these guys and already they have whopped and mopped up that waffle for that, excuse me. They ate all of it. I'm trying to get them to get the rest of the food. Okay, so we're done here, guys. That was it. That was all of our...
And these are our shout outs. Shout out to Chris Later. Anaya. Kareem, Kory. Kassidy, Kennedy. And Mom.
Good. I'm glad you did that. All right.
Mom.
Love you guys. Bye. Hope you guys enjoy. We have French toast with Frosted Flakes.